This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Joining us today is Paul Johnson, CEO of Power Metal Resources, following news that the company have raised 1.08 million in a weekend placing in order to embark upon what I consider to be one of the most important phases in our corporate history. Your words there, Paul, from the RNS. So how are you feeling about this raise then? And just tell us a bit more about this important phase in the history of the company.
Yeah, the raise at the weekend really empowers us. When you, as a small company, particularly in difficult markets, announce you're doing a major drill program, a discovery drill program, really, into major targets, multiple targets in any jurisdiction, the market immediately questions, well, where's the money coming from? Well, we've always ran, with a good, strong underlying financial position. But it does trouble people when they're facing financings. There will come a time in the future when the sector is more buoyant that people love financings because they recognize how it opens up an exploration company to do more things and to make more announcements. At the moment, people are worried. They shouldn't be, because Power Metal has always sat on top of this process and controlled this process. We were able to raise pretty much at the market bid price on the close on Friday. So 1.4 pence, that's the level that we raised at. We got £800,000 over the weekend, and we announced that on Monday morning. And then we had a single investor come forward with a further £280,000, taking us to 1.08 million. So we've now clearly stated to the market that we are definitively in a strong financial position. If they didn't believe it before, they have to now. It opens us up to aggressively attack this exploration opportunity. We're looking at a very large project, 1,700 square kilometres of licensed ground, 4 targets at the moment that we've talked about in previous RNS. One main initial target, which is T16, where we found that very large conductor, where we clipped the edge of it with a hole that had hundreds of meters of broadly nickel mineralized core, and we're going for it.
Excellent. Okay, well, it's certainly good that you managed to get this raise away in what is difficult market conditions, but that does take away any doubt that the company, that investors would have about the company's financial situation, and allows some speculation to take place, of course, on what's going on at Molopo. Is all the money going straight into the Molopo farms drilling?
Well, we are active right now on the preparations for that drill program. We told the market it was mid-September, commencement of drilling. So we're looking to get that done as quickly as we can. There's a lot of different activities happening simultaneously at the moment. It is, I would say, our biggest program ever. Not only are we going after these big targets, we have considerable evidence that this is, with T16, a compelling target to go for. The size and scale of the opportunity is quite dramatic. I've been involved in quite a few big projects over the years, with the T3 discovery in Botswana. I know the excitement these programs bring. I know that it's important for the market to be confident that we have the capital. So in answer to your question, yes, the raise that we did was predominantly focused on Molopo and making sure that we're in that, clearly in that financial position in the marketplace, so that the market, the investors, good investors they are as well, because they've locked into this proposition. They know that we're funded and able to really go for it.
And was there a reason why you raised that amount? That's some people say, why did you raise so much? And also, did the board participate at all?
Well, it's so much. It's always difficult when you do these financings, particularly in what I call challenging market conditions, to know what level you will raise at. So you set a broad target zone, as it were. Yes, we could we have raised less and still felt confident? Yes, we could have done. Could we have raised more? Yeah, and in theory, and had even more cash at bank? Well, in theory we could, but we did it very quickly over the weekend. It's we don't have the facility in the UK marketplace at the moment for stock as they do in Australia. Stocks go into suspension effectively for a few days if they're doing financings. It just prevents any silliness on the market that could affect the market price. When you do it over the weekend, as we did do on this occasion, you have that kind of suspension zone, as it were, when the market isn't trading. So you don't have any problems or issues with pricing. You can get the job done. You have to set the right level. We've been very defensive of our shareholders over the years. We've said we don't want to have someone buy a stock, at 3 pence on a Friday and wake up on a Monday to find out the placing's been done at 2. That's not our policy. We raise at the market. We put a warrant in there, and that warrant will provide us additional capital. Should the share price move significantly above 2 pence, then people are able to convert and they can make money from that, of course. But the company gets that 2 pence on every share that's a share warrant that's exercised. So that provides us with follow-on capital. Now, I'm an optimist. I think people will engage with this drill program. I think they will see the size and scale of it. They'll see the potential company transformational feature that comes with this drill program. And I think in a fair market with a fair wind, our price has a decent chance of rising. And I have, of course, not avoided, I completely forgot the other part of your question was, did the board participate? No, we couldn't. We are not able to trade in the company's shares whilst in the possession of potentially price-sensitive information, and that can come from a variety of different things in a business. And in the power metal business, where we have multiple programs running simultaneously, we are almost entirely perpetually inside.
Okay. And just a final thought, Paul. I know a running theme through Power Metal Resources is this idea of momentum and keeping things going, keeping things moving forward. What happens now then if you strike at Molopo? I mean, you're in a fairly strong position now, aren't you?
What you mean once we get out of the pub and get back to work?
Yes.
It's difficult. I don't want to hex this in that sense. We are clearly going for a major discovery. There's no point pretending. It's in the market news announcements. People can see what evidence we have been working with. The finance that we've raised provides us with the ability to be flexible. There is the possibility that in the event of a discovery, we would want to continue drilling rather than just stop the program. What normally happens with these programs is that you do your, in our case, 2,600 meters, and then you're not in a position financially to be able to continue necessarily and do another 2,600 meters. We will be in that position now because we've raised this additional capital. We have a number of targets to test. It's not just T16. Those targets are being worked on with the geophysics that's happening right now. There are more targets on top of that as well that potentially we could look into. Yeah, I would say you would want to see in our program continuity. We're setting everything up so that the speed of turnaround will be as fast as it possibly can be in terms of processing the core that comes out from the drilling. That's cutting the core. That's core examination, production of samples for testing, sending of batch samples over to the assay labs as quickly as we can to get the results as quickly as we can. So we're, from an operational perspective, and I know our investors too will be very keen on this, that we will be seeing, I hope, optimized turnaround on review and processing of assay testing. So we'll see how it goes. We're quite excited. We're quite bubbly, of course, as you'd expect. We have to be quite serious and focused too, because we're investing quite a considerable amount of money into this program in Botswana. We're happy to do that. Botswana is a wonderful jurisdiction for exploration and mining. It's safe, secure, a great operating environment, very supportive of companies that are willing to invest proper capital into development of projects. And we are, as a business, we've had involvement in multiple Botswana operations and projects, and we've invested quite significant capital into all of them. So we're excited to get going, Mark. What can I say? And the results and the progress will be announced to market in regulatory announcements, and will also be covered in a variety of different news media items in the coming weeks and months.
Excellent. Well, investors will certainly appreciate fast turnarounds of assay results. That's always good to see. And just being serious for just a moment and just thinking on the flip side, if perhaps you don't strike, of course, there are lots of other projects within Power Metals' portfolio. You're not neglecting them and going full on. I know your focus is more on Molopo, but you're not completely forgetting them now that you've got a lot of capital behind you to be able to advance, all the projects really in the portfolio.
Well, no, there always was going to be a time when we found a project that required, a focus, and Molopo clearly is that. As a business, we have significant interests around the globe. The largest undeveloped tungsten resource in the United States, in Nevada, one of the largest land packages, certainly in terms of any UK company, in the Athabasca Basin in Saskatchewan, Canada, focused on uranium. We've got significant interests in Australia, where with First Development, the package in Western Australia and Northern Territory, and New Ballarat Gold in Victoria, and our own project, the land projects in South Australia. So there are plenty of things in our business. Elements of this capital raise that we've undertaken will go into those projects, of course. We have a number of high priority exploration projects, including Tati Gold Project in Botswana as well. We've got a good team. I learned from my Metal Tiger days that you need to build the team before the great discoveries come. We have a fabulous team in the business, able to manage all of these different business interests. We have a great team of advisors working with us. So we are all set, not just for what we hope will be a major discovery, nickel sulfide discovery in Botswana, but also multiple value events through exploration and corporate activity in our other quite substantial and dramatic portfolio interests around the globe.
Well, Paul Johnson, the CEO, Power Metal Resources, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.